Walther PDP. This is the new striker fired offering from Walther. Comes with an optic ready plate. You basically remove this plate, you keep those two screws, and that's how you secure the plate that they mail you after the fact. They give you a little QR code, you go online, you pick out the plate that you want, shows up free in the mail, free shipping a couple days later, and then you can go rock and roll with your pistol. Plate system's alright, it's a steel plate. Notable features of the PDP. This is a compact version, so it's got the 4-inch barrel, the 3 slot Picatinny rail, and that nice grip texturing. I really like the palm swell on the compact. It's very similar, if not almost identical, to the Walther Q5 SF Match. Same size grip, because the Walther SF Match takes the same mags actually. The only difference between the mags for these and the SF Match is the +2 aluminum base pad. These do not work in it unless you have the aluminum base pad, but the Walther mags fit in this gun. So pretty much similar grip. The stipple on it is really, really nice. It's almost like a pointed, nippled knurl. I say nippled because they look like little nipples. Little nippled knurling. You can see my skin's already wearing off from just holding it, you know, dry winter hands. Really nice grip texturing, probably one of the best grip texturing ever, right? The P10C is really good. That was my favorite. Everyone said it was too aggressive, imprinted their hands. This is like a nice balance between like a true stipple mixed with a factory stipple. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Mag release is fairly pronounced, easy to get to. Gun feels great in your hand. Nice open trigger guard. Yes, this gun's empty, don't ask about it. I really like the control location. It's your standard PPQ Q5 controls. I've always liked these. The nice thing about them is when I do purchase the firearm, even if I'm riding high, it's very hard for me to bump that lever up, which is what I enjoy about it. The CZ P10F is like my favorite full-size handgun. The striker fire polymer framed, but I have a tendency to bump their slide stop. I don't have that problem with the Walthers, which is a plus side for me because I don't like making mistakes, especially when I'm running a pistol. Comes with plastic sights. Now I didn't research this, it's just an observation. They do look like Glock sights. It looks like a Glock dovetail in the front and rear, but I could be totally wrong. Looks like a Glock front sight. Rear, the dovetail is not a Glock sight, so whatever. Anyway, don't know what you can get for aftermarket sights. I have seen Tim from Military Arms channel had suppressor height sights on his. I'm sure you can buy them aftermarket. I didn't look into it. I'm sorry. I don't have all the information on these pistols. We just got them. I just want to give you my O2 on why I think they're cool and what I like about them. Out of the box, the trigger is the nicest out of the box polymer frame striker fire trigger ever. I still haven't even shot this gun yet, but the trigger reset is short, there's no creep, and it goes right through the break. That over travel is me, that's not the trigger. Oh my goodness, that is nice. Slide serrations, super aggressive. They made it kind of sexy and futuristic. There's your rear slide plate. The back of the, let's call it the beaver tail, is nice and deep. So there's no hot spots there. Even if I'm riding the gun super high, let's say I'm clamping the gun, I'm not hot spotting my knuckle like I do other guns. P10s I have to knock down, the AREXs I have to knock down the corners. Don't have that issue here. No hot spotting. Other than that, everything's great about it. So this is the compact, and behind me I have, this is the full size. They call it a full size. It actually has the same length slide as the compact. It's got the full size grip. Now I do believe they're coming out with a 5-inch long slide version, but this is currently the full size. So 17 round mag. Here's the magazines for it. These are the same magazines as the Canik TP9 SF. If you have a Canik or you can't find Walther mags, buy Canik mags. They're the same exact mags. They're Mechars. Everything down to every facet on them is identical. So some of the mags that we'll be running this gun today are actually Canik mags, since I couldn't find specific Walther PDP full-size mags. That is kind of annoying though, because this magazine geometry is different from this magazine geometry. This is a PPQ mag. This is a PDP slash, let's call it a Canik mag. This mag is skinnier than this mag. So your mag carriers will work, but you'll have to adjust your retention to make them work cross compatibility, but they are slightly different. So that's one thing to note. I don't know if there's any alternatives on the market for the PPQ mags. I don't think so, but at least you have PDP full-size alternatives in the Canik. And the same angle on the floor plate. Everything lines up perfectly. So this one I just kind of have tricked out for the range, little Surefire Vampire, and this one has the optic plate that came from the factory. I have a Trijicon RMR 06 on it. So I don't think we're going to see too much difference between these two firearms on the range. They both have the same length slide. You got a little bit more weight here because of the extra length on the mag, and I do have the light and the optic on it. So we're going to shoot both of them today. Enjoy. We don't have any holsters for these just yet. They're in process right now. Walther's been super cool. They provided us with everything that we needed to produce holsters for the PDP, the Q4, and the Q5. So those holsters are coming for all those platforms. We're going to start with non-light bearing, and then we're going to switch to light bearing options. It'll be a little while before we start rolling through all the lights, but we'll have non-light bearing options very quickly for both IWB and Nidhogg series pistols. So don't worry, they're coming. This is the compact. First shots ever. My hands are so dry, they're sliding around on my hands. Keep slipping my grip a little. I'm sliding around so much. That's nice. Trigger's nice. Need to shoot it a little bit more, make sure I'm not getting trigger slap. I don't think I am. My hands are also super fucking cold. It does have a high bore axis. It is a little poppy, but it's not bad. With a light up there and an optic, you're gonna get a little bit flatter shooter. It feels nice. It's comparable to like the Arex Delta. I like the grip angle and the palm swell is super nice. It does have a little bit higher bore axis. So bore axis would be center of the bore straight through to about here. It's pretty high. So I'm getting a little of that. I'm also shooting irons. I don't shoot irons anymore. So that's why I'm shooting a little slower, because I'm like lining up those sights. And it does have a little air gap on the back of the adjustable irons. So settling those sights is a little funny. It's not perfectly. If you line up the top of that blade to the top of these, the dots are actually not in line. And I'm used to tracking that front sight in the top of the front blade. So I kind of have to bury the front iron a little bit lower than the actual top of the blade to blade, because it doesn't line up all 3 dots. So that's why I was shooting a little lower, shooting a little slower, just to kind of feel it, where those impacts were hitting, and how far I had to bury that sight. Because if you blacked out those dots, you'd probably be shooting a little high. You'd be shooting a little high. Yeah, if I line them up across the top, that dot in the front sight is still a little high. Full size. So full size grip, same length slide. Feels nice. I was a little distracted. My dot was off by 4 inches left. Now it's on. I like it. It's no Walther Q5 SF match though. I don't even shoot anymore. The delay there was, I thought I dropped the slide too early, guess not. I was like, let's see if it pops. Let's see if it was a blooper. All right, so we put about 250, 300 rounds through the PDPs today, the compact and the full size. The difference between the full size and the compact right now is just grip length and magazine capacity. Everything else is the same. I believe they are coming out with a longer slide. That's what everyone's doing, so let's just assume they're going to do that. Grip is great. Doesn't chew my hand apart, but still gives me really, really nice grip on the firearm. My support side hand was sliding around a lot today. It's cold and dry. It's 31 degrees. My hands are white with dryness. So, you know, I wasn't manipulating the firearm as good as I could in this circumstance, but that's fine. Pros about the gun: it's got all the bells and whistles you want. Ambidextrous magazine release that you can flip, really good, really great stipple, interchangeable back straps, one of the nicest out of the box polymer frame strike fire triggers I've ever pressed. It feels nice. It feels like a 3.5 pound trigger. I don't know what it is. Didn't bring my gauge out here. It just feels really nice, super crisp. It's got hyper aggressive slide serrations, not ones that can hurt you, but ones that you won't slip on. That's awesome. Big open trigger guard for gloves, accessory rail, easy takedown, ambidextrous slide stops, really easy to manipulate, but not accidentally bump and cause slide lock. This gun has everything that you want. Cons about the gun: plastic sights, could be metal. When you do throw your QR code in to get your free plate, it would be nice if they had a $1 add to cart upgrade to get the iron sights with it. When you do get your iron sight up, or when you do get your optic plate upgrade for the Q5, it comes with the iron sights because the rear is built into it. It would have been nice to have the option to upgrade and get the iron sights with the plate. Maybe there's more to that and I didn't dig deep enough, but that's what I saw on the form that you can fill out when you get your optic plate. So I wish there was an upgrade to get the iron sights as well to co-witness. So that was one con. And barrel crown: I wish it had a more substantial barrel crown. This firearm is empty. We'll get a little zoom in there. Has a very, very, very tiny crown. You can see the flat spots between the lands and grooves, but it's not very pronounced, and it's a pretty thick barrel. It would be nice to see a more pronounced 11-degree race crown or a stronger barrel crown. One thing we did notice is it's very punchy. I'm running in-ears right now. So it's very punchy and it has a little bit more dispersion of pressure out the muzzle. I wish it just had a little bit nicer barrel crown, which would focus a lot more of the energy forward. It would change the experience a little bit of shooting the firearm as well. But again, that's something you can do aftermarket. You can send your barrel off to someone like Cajun Gun Works or Danger Close Armament, any of the companies that work on barrels, and a very affordable charge to get a barrel crowned. It's pretty much a flush fit barrel, so you really just need a barrel crown to be pretty awesome. The last part of this firearm that I would say is a con is the height over bore. I wish it had a slightly lower height over bore. A lower height over bore with a more pronounced barrel crown, you'd get a slightly softer shooting pistol, in my opinion, from my experience of what I've been shooting over the years. So its height over bore is more indicative of a P320, you know, not like a Glock 19. So Glock 19s really have a low height over bore and don't have a ton of muzzle rise and are pretty soft shooters. All the ergonomics and features on this make it really awesome, but it does have a little bit more felt recoil and noticeable recoil and muzzle rise to like a 320, not something like a Glock 19. So that would be my biggest con: a little bit lower bore axis. But it has everything that you want in a pistol. It's super nice. The trigger is awesome. Trigger is better than any aftermarket custom Glock 19 trigger you'll get. And the grip is unbelievable, better than any stipple job I've ever paid for hundreds of dollars for on a factory gun. So I think all the bells and whistles are here for this gun to be one of the best out of the box striker fire polymer frame guns on the market today.